Hey taters! So y'all know I love me some Heather Gillespie drama, and she can bring it. She brings that drama, but she's been kind of quiet lately. But today, or last night actually, Viviana, her oldest daughter, dropped the tea, and this was right after Heather's live of saying how she talks to them 5 to 6 times a day, and she's always on the phone with them, always gets to talk to him, sees her grandchild all the time. The only problem is they're keeping Weston under custody. BS, because Vivian drops these today. Now the first couple are cut off, but it starts with saying, Vivian says, "Don't worry about me, don't worry about my baby. You got it? If you loved me, it wouldn't be such an issue for you to stop talking about my life all the time. But like I said, you like the attention." She said, "Definitely Xavier's though," which she was responding to something Heather said, which I'm assuming it said not everyone's. Anyway, Heather says, "My daughter would never be so cruel and cold. It makes me so sad to hear that shit. And everything you know I've been through. You're so bogus as hell." And then she says her whole name, but I'm going to leave that out. She says, "You'll regret these words." And Vivi said, "No, not really." Which Heather replies, "You're pregnant and you need your mother. There are ghetto-ass disrespectful haters in the audience that have problems with my life for whatever reason, but I don't ask for their opinion." And Vivi says, "No, if she is using me for attention." Heather says, "I shared my life when I was in danger and being abused, not for a joke. When I was creating content that was for entertainment, I wasn't getting abused or assaulted on a semi-regular basis. This is for real effing life." I love how it's still going back to Heather, like Vivi saying, "Please leave me out of your discussions," and Heather's like, I. It's always that way. Vivi continues to say, "Stop talking about my life." To which Heather replies, "No one gives an F about what you have going on or what I have going on, even though I document and the potential of a lawsuit." Vivi says, "This has nothing to do with me. It's filled with creeps." And Heather says, "It has everything to do with you. You should be ashamed you're terrible at your job. You don't even have the facts straight." And Vivi said, "No one gives an F yet. They made a whole clip to cut everything else you talk about." Heather says, "You're fired, bro. Give me my daughter back." Vivi says, "No one gives an F about you still felt that you need to talk to me about it. Shut up with that ish." And Heather replies, "And you are the one watching." Shaking my head. And she said, "Find something better to do with your life." Like Heather said this to Vivi. What? Heather ends it with, "Love you" in capital letters. "Talk to you later." Heather says, "I promise you will. Goodbye." Vivi says, "Just tired of dealing with you playing victim. You never taking accountability." Heather said, "Yep." Vivi said, "It's not your fault. It's never your fault." Heather says, "I climbed on myself, R'd myself, locked myself out of my home, robbed myself, cleaned my bank account out." Vivi says, "See? Like, what the F does a R have to do with anything right now?" Heather said, "Became a crooked detective." Vivi says, "Talk to me when you get well." In which Heather just keeps going, and they claimed that they would sleep with me, and always about Heather. It is insane, y'all. Like, have you ever talked to your child like this? Like, but then come on live and talk about how you talk to them 4 or 5 times a day, 5 to 6 days, and everything's wonderful in their world, and they're all content and happy, and they're doing great, and their fathers are doing great, and the grandkids doing great. And then they drop these texts. Heather, you are not getting better, honey. You might be spiraling down. I was really hoping that everything she said about Weston and I knew she wasn't going to get him back, but everything she's been saying about him and how well he's doing and stuff, I thought, okay, maybe she is trying. She's got a job now. She's paying bills, supposedly. She's buying them all this stuff. And then these texts drop. Like, seriously, Heather, haven't you had enough? I really had hoped for her, but y'all, I think she's not any better than she's ever been. She's just hiding it better. And what do you guys think about the drastic weight change? Like, she was big and chunky 2 months ago, and now all of a sudden she's tiny. Is she getting shots, or is she shooting something? Or smoking something, or whatever she does. And if she is, how's she getting clean UAs? Like, things just aren't adding up, Heather. They're just not adding up. I think you were doing better when you disappeared from social media, and you probably need to do it again. Just saying. Anyway, I'm sure we'll have more drama, and I can't wait to bring it to you.